Hello everyone, my name is Will Daywalt, and I am going to show you my software design and construction final project. This is for HPU, and to start out with, I want to show you the domain that it's hosted on. So I got a website from GoDaddy, and I purchased Vizzo.tech. It is currently utilizing the cPanel. This project required a database, so I'm going to show you the database using PHPMyAdmin on GoDaddy's hosting. I was able to create a table named Notes, and there's a bunch of data in there already. And the structure is as follows. We have a primary key ID, the actual note, the author, date, and the date format, and our contact number, so if there's a phone number associated with it. And that's a big int. Alright, so next up, let's take a look at the file structure. You can ignore everything else, but the index, which is the home page, the header and footer, which is persistent through the entire code. We have our edit data function, our delete function, our add data function. We have our database config, so that confirms that we have a valid connection to the database. And our class.crud, which this is the glue that keeps the entire program together. This is what is not the call. This is what everything references to actually get the work done. And then we have our checkbox picture that shows up on the tab for the website. All right, let's dig into the code. So first off, we have our database connection here, which is calling all the pertinent login information to make sure we're on the right database, making sure everything's prepared, and if something goes wrong, then we get an error that's dumped out. All right. Next up, we have our header. So, this is the index, which includes a header at the top, along with our database configuration. This is the back end of the home page. So it lists out all the pertinent information, has some Bootstrap on it, has some CSS on it, and it kind of tells everybody, hey, what do you want to do? What do you want to do with this program, with this website? So we have the displaying of all the notes, the ability to create a new note, and then possibly edit or delete. Next up, we have the header, and this adds the icon. And it also adds some more jQuery scripting, and then the title for the website. Next up is the footer, which is some more information on the website and myself, and the ability to email me, along with more Bootstrap. Now the guts. The guts. This is the database, this is the class.crud functions. So first off, we have our connection to the database. Then we have when we want to create a new note, this is called. During each one of these global functions, if something goes wrong, an error is sent. So we have the data coming in, and then it being added to the database. This is getting the ID of the selected note. So in the future, if we wanted to edit that note or delete that note, this is the function that is called before that. Next up is updating, which is also known as editing a note. So it's just like create, but instead we're going to be using the update call in the database. Delete. So this is completely erasing a note and everything associated with it. And data view. This formats the data so that it can be seen on the home page and other pages in a legible manner. And next up we have our paging, so this handles if we have multiple pages worth of data on the index, and then page linking, so being able to properly link to those data points. Alright, next up we have our add data. So this is what pops up when we want to add a new note. So at the top here we have our connection to the Ajax repository. It's provided by Google. Next up we have our actual Ajax. This is pulling the data from from the user and applying it to variables that can be used throughout the code. Connection to the database is secured, and then this is calling the create function from our CRUD file. And then once it's successful, we get a confirmation, and then the ability to go back to the main message board. Failure, an error is posted, and then here's the form in which the user puts in the new message, or the new note. And the next two are very similar, just doing a different function. So this is our edit data. So the difference is this needs to go out and get data from the database first, because we're going to be editing it, not creating something new. So this we have to get the ID first, and then display it, and allow the user to then go in and edit the data and update it. And finally, delete. So this is when I'm done with the note, or the note just needs to go away. Somebody put something bad on there. I don't know, like the customer, because that's awful. Not really, but so this allows us to go get the ID of the selected note and erase everything associated with it in the database. Okay, so now that we have that done, let's take a look at the website. And here it is. This is the second page. Let's go back to the first page. And as you can see, we have our header and our footer here. We have everything listed. So I'll make a new appointment, or make an appointment for Wrenchworks, which is my shop for my Volkswagen. And I need to get that done by Friday. Well, guess what? I actually already did that. So I'm going to go in, and if I hit delete, do I really want to remove this? Yes, I do. So I'm just going to go ahead and click that, and that will automatically confirm that it's been deleted, and it will disappear. But really, I don't want to delete it. I need to do it by the 5th, but I'm going to give myself a little bit of leeway, so I want to edit that. So instead of the 5th, I'm going to say, give me to Sunday, and I'm going to update the note. It was updated. I'm going to go home, and there we go. The date has been changed. I'm going to go to the second page here, back to the first, and it's just a quick kind of notepad message board that anybody that I give the website to can go and leave me a little note, and I can easily reference it. And then if anyone has any issues and they would like to email me, they can just click the send email, and it will automatically launch your default webmail, and add a subject in there, and I'll let you know. So that's pretty much it. If I had more time, I would like to add like a sorting function up here, so I can sort by author, sort by date, due, and such, and maybe add a little more nicer transitions. But very basic website. So thank you for your time.